Hello student, good morning. Most welcome to the Rita Das classes. I request all the new viewers to please subscribe my channel. Today I am going to teach you the important parts of the poem, that is the figure of speech. Generally it comes in the senior classes, 11th and the 12th class, in the poetry sections. The students are unaware about this figure of speech, so I have cleared it in this video. In the figure of speech, we have to know what is the figure of speech and the kinds of, and I have explained one by one. So the figure of speech here tells about the most common type of questions which are asked in CBSE or for that matter any board examinations, since poetry has so many things to learn about. It's not at all easy to mug up all the instances where we are asked these in the poems. To make life simpler, I bring you this small guide with the most commonly used figure of speech. I assure you that 99% of what you see below is the only thing you need to know to answer these 1-mark questions. And here what are the figure of speech I have explained one by one. Here the list of the figure of speech are given here. First one is the simile, second is the metaphor, third is the personification, fourth is the apostrophe, 5 is oxymoron, and 6th is irony, 7th is the repetition, 8th is the alliteration, and 9th is the hyperbole, and 10th is refrain, and 11th is the imagery. So let us start by explaining one by one figure of speech. First one is the simile. Simile is nothing but only the comparison between the two very different objects. While comparing, we need to use comparative words like, as, extra. So whenever dear students, whenever in the poem it is written as the like or the as, then you just confirm that it is the simile. Here one example is given, as red as blood. Just as is written, so here it is the simile. He fought like a lion. Like is written, so you have to write the line. Comparison is also held, and second two words are given. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. Here, so it is the simile. And second is the metaphor. In the metaphor, it is almost similar to a simile, but here we take it for granted that both the objects are same. In short, we can call it an implied simile. In metaphor, while comparing, we do not use comparative words, for example. So, just I clear you that metaphor is also like the simile. Both things we compare the objects with the two things, but in simile we use the words as and like, but in metaphor we compare with the things, but we do not use the words like and as. Just here example is given, life is a dream. Life compares with the dream, but here it is not written as or the like. Let us take up an example to clear the difference between the metaphor and the simile. Here it is said that in metaphor we have to use the words that is the like and as. Sachin played like a warrior. It is a simile. Sachin was a warrior in the game. It is a metaphor. Now, I think you understood about this. Personification. Third number is the personification. Here, emotionless objects like a table is spoken as if it has life. Just trees sprinting. Just trees has a life. When the object which is the motionless but it used as a active things, then we can call it is a personification. A roadside stand that too pathetically played. Fourth is the apostrophe. Hey, you little teddy bear, does she love me? Don't take my wrong. This is what apostrophe actually is. It's when an author or the poet directs a speech towards an abstract object on an imaginary person. Well, hello jet plane. This this is the apostrophe. Oxymoron. In this figure of speech, two contradictory terms are combined together. It's derived from a Greek word which literally means sharp, dull. Then, after that, here there is given personification. Here is a motionless object like a table, and it is, I have already told you, apostrophe. Here is, he little teddy bear, does she love me? Here the example is, well, hello jet plane. Oxymoron. Here in this figure of speech, two contradictory terms are combined together. It derived from a Greek word which literally means sharp. Greedy, God, good doers, beneficent, bestow. So, irony. This one is the most commonly used of all in our day-to-day conversation. Irony is a form where the literal meaning is completely opposite to what is conveyed by the author or the poet. Will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. This is taken from the Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, and it brings forth a sense of irony because the tigers are much stronger than the woman who created them. I have tried getting examples from NCERT textbooks so that you can relate them while you are going through the poem. Repetition. In this, there is a repetition of a word in the example. It was so unexpected. So, repetitions, figure of speech is there. So, there is the alliteration. In this, there is a repetition of a sound of a vowel in a sentence. If the vowel sound is repeated, then you can say that alliteration. Here, oh, wild west wind. So, oh, wild west wind. Vowel sound is there. Oh, hyperbole. In this, extreme exaggeration is made. Example, I have told you a million times. Extreme, million times, that is. 10th is the refrain. There is a repetition of a line in a stanza. And her really truly little pet dragon. This line gets repeated many times in the poem Custard the Dragon. When the line is repeated in the poem, then we can say that it is a refrain and imaginary. When words have their symbolic meaning, example in the poem, keeping quiet wells are symbolic and of poor suppressed poor people, and fisherman word symbolizes peculiar in power. So the conclusion of the figure of speech that it is also important, so we should not skip it. So dear students, you get by heart of this figure speech. Thank you.